I have made the decision to stop being a people pleaser. Why? Because I see that most people in this world are really followers. They are people pleasers. Like we say, there are people who are wolves, there are people who are sheep. And I don't want to be a sheep. I'd rather be alone, I'd rather be uncomfortable, I'd rather be not liked, but at least I am authentic, at least I'm respecting who I am, and at least I'm staying true to my principles even till I die. There is a point in your life where you have to decide whether you really want to be the bold, fearless, adventurous, and self loving, self respecting person that you have always wanted to be, or you want people to like you want to be surrounded by a crowd of people, you want to be a yes man, you just want to follow whatever your boss says, whatever your coworker says, whatever your parents says or society says, you have to just follow it blindly. That's up to you. But I think when you become an adult, you reach 25 years, it's like a quarter of your life, let's say. So you are really fed up of all that bullshit. And one thing is true, like I have never been afraid of being not being liked or not being surrounded by a group of people. While it is true that in my school days, in my high school days, I have always been the type of person to be surrounded by a lot of friends, and I always had friends. I always loved having friends, etc. But there were also many times when I stayed in friendships or relationships with wrong kinds of people, and I really wasn't aware that why was I doing that? Was I so desperate to belong to a group, that I really sacrificed my principle. I really allowed myself to be insulted in that equation with that person. But fortunately, the more you grow up, the more you become mature, the more you gain experience, and especially when you are confronted to a painful situation, to a challenge that makes you, that really shakes you and makes you boil with anger, that revolts you, that makes you realize that enough is enough now. You cannot go on this way. So I am thankful actually for my challenges, for the wake up calls that I got at a relatively young age, because when you're faced with something that really disturbs your life, like creates chaos and destroys all your peace, and just it pushes you to think, it's really like someone has poured a bucket of cold ice over you. So you really have to think, you're forced to stop and to try to correct what you're doing wrong in your life. Many times we don't respect ourselves enough to say stop and to just walk away, or to let a person know that they are really, what they are doing or saying is not right, is not going to be tolerated by you. So it's true that it takes getting used to. Like many times I myself, like there are many times in my own life where there were many things I wish I would have said, I should have said, but I didn't, because you don't want to make people angry, you don't want to make the atmosphere awkward, you don't want to create this discomfort. But precisely, you have to stop being afraid of discomfort, you have to stop being afraid and not being you. I mean, when I always say that when you are doing something that is right, there is nothing to be afraid for. I'm not saying that you should go and start to fight with everyone and correct everyone, but in my own life, like I will cite a few examples. Earlier on in my life, I used to be the kind of person, like even if there is something that has happened that is not right, even if the other person has made a mistake, I will easily forgive and forget. I will just pretend that okay, it's normal, and that I will not try to create any scene. So I was that kind of person that would avoid any scene, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it creates frustration in you in the long run when you keep on accumulating, absorbing, like you just tolerate. It's as if you become a doormat, so you do no longer have any self-respect, you no longer admire yourself, you no longer feel strong and powerful the way you should be. And ever since I have experienced a few events in my life very recently, I have really, like, something has definitely changed in me. Like I'm no longer afraid to say the truth, and actually I feel way proud of myself. I feel strong, I feel empowered when I say what's on my mind. And yeah, I just feel like most people nowadays are fake. they have low self-esteem, and they are just unable to assume who they are. They are so afraid, so empty inside, that they are desperate for people to like them, and they are willing to do anything. They will just become a people pleaser, and I really hate such people. I cannot stand such people, because in my opinion, if you truly love yourself, if you truly know who you are, there is no chance in the world where you will be a people pleaser. You will always like live for the truth and speak out when you have to. But yeah, we don't live to please people, we live to please our creator, and we live for ourselves. So you just have to be true to yourself. The next time you feel like you want to say something but you have always felt hesitant, start doing it now. And the more you do it, the more it will become easy, because I have observed that myself. In the beginning it was hard, it was awkward, but the more you start to stop being a people pleaser, the more you will see it will get easy, and in any situation you will be able to do it and you will not regret it. That is something that I can really tell you out of my own experience.